You're watching MCTV, Texas Tech University, Mass Comm Television.
Studying abroad is an invaluable experience, but for some Texas Tech students, hitting the books overseas is going to become mandatory. Plus, as the economy struggles, people are wondering who's to blame. Our reporter Eric Quisenberry will have more on how it will affect students and others across the country. And in the fall of 2009, it will feature a 2-day fall break. However, the decision has forced the large Greek community at Texas Tech to reschedule recruitment that has run smoothly for many years. And speaking of running smoothly, with the high cost of gas prices, more students are riding bikes rather than driving their four-wheeled counterparts. But the relationship between bicyclists and driver is still a work in progress. Our Brittany Loeyball has this story coming up on this week's edition of MCTV.
From the College of Mass Communications on the campus of Texas Tech University, this is the MCTV Weekday Update.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Daniel Horsch, and welcome to this week's edition of MCTV. In lieu of my partner Corey Pope's absent, who appears to have come down with the flu, it's safe to say flu season has arrived. So to keep everyone safe, Texas Tech Student Health Services will begin to give flu shots next week. The dates, locations, and times are listed on the screen. Some basic prevention tips include washing your hands, avoiding close contact with sick people, and if you do get sick, stay away from home and school to avoid infecting others. And if you do have flu symptoms, which include fever, headache, sore throat, or muscle aches, make sure you see a doctor within 2 days of the symptoms. Students can schedule an appointment with Student Health Services by calling 806-743-2848. Walking to and from class, students may have noticed the influx of bicyclists. And while there are ample bike lanes on campus and around the city, there are still safety concerns, leaving bicyclists saying, "Can't we all just get along?"
Crowded bike racks are one sign that students and faculty members are trading in their cars for bikes. But an increase in bicycle-related injuries have students concerned, wondering what they need to do to stay safe. Finding a spot to lock up your bike may be trouble enough, but with an increase in bike injuries, professionals say new and experienced riders need to learn bicycle safety before hitting the road. President of Tech Cycling, Wade Wolfberger, says before any cyclist gets on the road, they need to be aware of motorists around them.
You really have to develop that relationship with the drivers when you're on the bike. You have to make sure that you know that they know that you're there. You have to look at them, make eye contact. If you don't get eye contact from drivers, you're not looking at them, and they might not recognize that you even exist, and that's usually where a problem begins to occur.
Wolfberger says he has seen an increase of bicycles and riders on campus, and safety should always come first. Safety attendant with University Parking, Bo Vigil, says car drivers also need to be aware of the increase of bicycles on the road.
People operating vehicles on campus, they're going to have to be a little extra vigilant and pay attention and watch what's going on. It's pretty easy to miss some of those bicycles, particularly at intersections.
Tech police say if you follow the law and practice smart riding, you'll be safe. But if you don't, you could get hurt, like Tech student Grant Huckabee.
All right, I was riding my bike to school. I took a turn and the car was out of control and was going right at me, and I had to bail off my bike, and this happened. 8 fingers.
Wolfberger says if any student has questions or concerns about bike safety, they can contact him for more information. This is Brittany Loeyball.
With the looming mortgage crisis and the recent bailout bust, the United States economy is running on empty, but it seems like it hasn't hit Lubbock, or at least not yet.
$850 billion to bail out an economy in shambles, and people want to know who's to blame.
I think everybody wants to point to one person and say, this is the person or entity responsible for the crisis we're in.
Others are worried about the government taking control.
I cannot say anything good about Washington. They didn't do anything, they did what they did, and thinking they're the ones that are going to bail us out scares me to death.
While the economy on a national scale is a cause for concern for so many, Lubbock and its economy seems isolated from most of the problems facing the United States. Mortgage brokers and other home loan lenders have even reported an increase in business over the last year. Greg Lumen is the manager of Home Trust Mortgage in Lubbock.
Lubbock hasn't seen that much of it because we didn't do that many subprime loans as a population. We didn't do that many funky stated income loans as a group of lenders in Lubbock. We were more prudent.
James Schiermeyer, a finance professor at Texas Tech with more than 40 years experience with Merrill Lynch in Lubbock, says buying is the right move.
Well, this is the time to get in it when it's low and just hang on to it. You buy value stocks and you hold until, well, you can just hold them from now on. You buy value and buy and hold.
Schiermeyer warns that while Lubbock may seem safe for now, smart financial planning is the only way to protect yourself in the future. Eric Quisenberry, MCTV.
A fall break is a great way to unwind, catch up on some sleep, or make a trip home. In the fall of 2009, students will have that opportunity. But for the Greek community, the fall break has caused a few schedule conflicts.
For the 2009 fall semester, President Whitmore approved a 2-day fall break for the student body. This break pushes up the start date of classes, which interferes with the recruitment schedule pertaining to everyone Greek affiliated. The Risk Management Chair for Panhellenic Council, Kelly Barwatt, says it was a challenge revamping a week-long schedule that's been in place for some time.
Mainly the goal was not to have recruitment during school. That was the hardest thing to kind of get around that because we've had the same schedule since '98.
Panhellenic's biggest concern involves potential new members of sororities juggling their first day of school with the last day of recruitment. Texas Tech Panhellenic advisor Kate Bibb says all of this is possible.
We want our members present in their classes on Thursday and Friday, and even though it's a long week, we wanted to make sure that we gave them that opportunity.
The entire Greek community put together ideas to come up with the best possible arrangement for next fall. Bibb says she believes it is a definite change for the better.
And as a community, if we can really change some of our perspective and perceptions on what recruitment is supposed to be, I think that will help us make that transition a little easier.
It is going to be a game of trial and error for the Greek community next fall. This is Corey Pope reporting for MCTV.
And when it comes to the cost of higher education, there is no doubt that it always puts a dent in the pocketbook. But when students consider studying abroad to learn, live, and play in faraway lands, the cost can double or triple what you pay per semester. With a new requirement for architecture students, every student that goes through the department will find themselves jet-setting around the globe at least once before graduation.
The College of Architecture at Tech recently announced that all architecture students will be required to study abroad starting spring of 2009. Because of the mandatory study abroad program for architecture students, they may expect unexpected expenses, and it is quite possible that they will have to take out student loans. Architecture student Julio Valdez says not all students can afford to study abroad.
As of right now, I don't have any loans, and I would like to keep it that way. But with study abroad, obviously, it's costing more than 2 semesters put together, so I'm going to have to get a loan for that.
Some students don't think money is an issue. Graduate architecture student Justin Kyle studied abroad in Montreal, Canada, and spent less money than expected.
No, the money's out there. I mean, that's not a problem. The program that's coming about this next semester with Professor Driscoll and actually the dean of the college, Andrew Vernoy, is Nicaragua, which, in South America, the amount of money you have to spend to live there and to, actually get around there is going to be significantly lower than programs like in Paris or in Spain or any of the European programs.
The College of Architecture and the International Culture Center offer competitive scholarships for students who study abroad. There are also scholarships from other programs. This is Taylor White reporting for MCTV.
And once again, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, this has been Daniel Horsch signing off for MCTV.